First thing which impressed me and which I think responsible for all this is my mother, because she was the first lady who came in our house educated. She could read and write and brought a box of books with her. When we grew up, we used to see those books and wonder what it is, how the words are written, who wrote them. Can it be possible for me to write? This question came in the mind of a boy of 6 or 7 years. And then it grew up. So many things, development came. My mother wanted us to read and write. In the village there was no possibility beyond the primary school. When she asked my maternal uncle, he took us to Punjab. When my question of marriage came, I said I won't marry in my caste. But my mother did not allow me. I tried and tried because I was made by my mother. I was grateful to my mother. So ultimately, and even I could not find a suitable match also, ultimately I yielded and said, Mother, I won't marry. You want a daughter-in-law? You are free to get him. And that is another thing that girl she brought. She became the inspiration of my life. I remember she said, well, look here, I have not married a clerk, I have married a writer. Remember it. And that thing today, what I am today, it is that sentence made me like that. As I realized when I was a child that I used to touch what is called chamar, or this word we cannot utter today is bhangi shabd. If I say bhangi, I will send to jail for 6 months. So these people were there, and in my mind I don't know how it happened. I used to think, what is this? This is man. Why should I not touch him? Then because when I go to him or her, then my father will slap me. So these things which I took as I went to a mosque and drank water. Then I thought some jinn will come and take me away. But nobody came. I went to a temple. I took the prasad and eat it. I said that some Devi or some jinn, some will come and kill me. Nobody came. But this gave me strength. Buddhism says, don't believe in anything which is said by your guru or written in a second book. Think over it yourself and decide. As Rabindranath said, यदि तोरे डाक्षु में केहू ने आशा दबे एकला चलो ओरे ओरे अभागा एकला चलो. These questions in my mind grew and grew, and I think they are responsible of words coming out on the paper. One thing. The second thing which made me a writer, which I can say, is that I belong to a family of the congressmen. And when I passed my metric, by that time my family was ruined. They didn't have any penny to give me education. They did not allow me to join the movement. This, of course, I suffered this very much. And if the diary of those days were somehow today I could find it, then on every page I have written there, better to die better to die than this life. So there's so many things I can't say how the experience after experience made me what I am. So I began to write. I wrote a story. First story in 1931, in November 31, that was influenced by Irish March, because don't drink, don't play, just don't gamble, and all these things you will ruin, like all these things I wrote about, used to. Then Gandhi's influence came to me, and I used to write stories for freedom, and I wrote a play, 2 plays in those days, and I think they were responsible for my first arrest. My house was searched, but it is very interesting thing also. Before they came to search my house, they sent a message to me, be careful, we are coming. And I removed everything that was objectionable from my house, and it is a pity when these 24 constables and the inspector came to arrest me, though my neighbors became frightened, and all those things I put in a house, that lady of the house burned everything. My valuable letters, my valuable papers, books, all were burned. All right, that doesn't mean anything. Of course, the inspector, CID inspector, ultimately asked me, well, we know what you are an arithmetist, and I am also an arithmetist. So I gave you a choice, whether we send you to jail today or you resign yourself and leave Punjab. I said, why I said that is another point, because the service I got through the courtesy of my uncle, and my uncle was the head clerk of the office, and if I was sent to jail, then my uncle will be affected. He was to retire, and there might be must have some trouble for him. So I said, all right, I will resign and go. And after that, they went away. They again came in 1932. I was still there. He said, you didn't go? Well, I said, I will go, but you know, my brothers are there, they are just getting education, and I will resign and go. And he said, you are supposed to be in Banaras on 3 days. Can you prove it? You were there or not there? Well, I said, I never saw the Banaras at that time. I was in Lahore sitting for a BA examination on those 3 days. For those 3 days I was placed in Banaras. So I was let off at that time, and ultimately I left Punjab. I came to Delhi like a pauper, because in my family also they are working in the Congress. My elder brother was arrested and went to jail, and my younger brothers went to an underground. Then what to do? Later on, I read a couplet by the famous poet Suraj Gorakhpuri, न मंजिल है न मंजिल का पता है, मोहब्बत रास्ता ही रास्ता. Afterwards, it was in the months in Saudi, they wanted to do something, they make it a cultural center. Then they invited all those writers of India, of each and every language, please come and help us. Became producer here. So I became producer of drama in Delhi. And all great writers, you know, Shankar Kurup, the famous writer from Kerala, who was famous everywhere, Rabindranath Mitra from Bengal, all the great writers were there. But very soon they discovered, this is a government department. You won't have any freedom. After a year, I asked my director general, who incidentally was my friend also, a great writer, Ravishankar Mathur. He said, well, what you want me to do, any clerk can do it. Why you pay me 700 rupees at that time in 1947, 48. So I resigned and came back. Till after that, I did not do anything. I used to travel and travel and travel all over the India. And it is my conviction that education you don't get in schools and colleges. I said there's a sky. Right? You know, there's a sky. No sky. There's no end. Sky, in Hindi, it said, Kha. Kha is the word in vocabulary. Kha means shunya, nothing. There is nothing. Nothing is sky. And so is horizon. You see that there is an end when these earth and sky are meeting. But are they really meeting? No, there is nothing. It is all the way you are going back. So these things inspired me. I don't know how I put in my literature, but I wrote about these things. I wrote about Hindu-Muslim unity, Hindu-Sikh unity, or untouchability also I wrote. And in all my novels are characters. In my latest novel, this Ardhanarishwara. Ardhanarishwara means half man, half woman. In all mythology of the world, there is the one God, the Shankara, who is responsible for the dignity of a woman. He is the only God who respected women, who loved women. If you go on explaining the story of Sati and Parvati, everybody knows it. This is. So I took, the name is Ardhanarishwara, otherwise the story is all social story. I took a woman with a rape. Why a rape? People ask me, why you are beginning with a rape? Because in rape, woman is not at all responsible. She is innocent, but after rape, she is outcast. She doesn't remain in woman. Hatred, nothing. So I fought against that. And I quoted, the examples are all true. Interviews are all true. I quoted. A Bengali woman, when she was mass rape in Bengal, she said, my body is raped, not my womanhood. Sharad Chandra said in 100 years ago, Satitya Naritya ek hi nahi hai. This virginhood and this womanhood, they are not one. They are separate. Your body might be spoiled, but the spirit, the woman, what is the woman, it is not spoiled. So that is the message for the writer to convey to the world. I wrote a feature, Naya Kashmir, New Kashmir. What I saw there was something very horrible. If the Prime Minister, the Chief Minister, Sheikh Abdullah, Sadiq, Qasim, Naftal Beg, all these, we all together worked together there. So I wrote that Naya Kashmir, and I don't know what happened. It became so successful. So the writer, there was no pass, no creed, nothing. So in my family, you will find there is a Punjabi, there is a Bengali, a partial Urdu was also there, but unfortunately he divorced. Then there is Keralite, and there is a Tamil, there is a Brahman, there is a Kshatriya, and there are non-Brahmin also. So many things. And never in your family for a second, any day, question arose, who is who? Man is man, woman is man. Father is father, mother is mother, niece is niece. Even I got a Muslim girl as my adopted niece. I go to their house on festival day, Eid, and Eid. She comes to my house and ties this Rakhi to my son. So we have no caste, no creed, no distinction. So everything this I have tried to depict in my literature. I can give so many examples. So about partition, I will give you one example. Hindus came to this side, Muslims went to that side. So many stories I know. Those horrible things I have seen with my own eyes. But I tell you one thing, there was a Hindu advocate. He came to Delhi, but sometimes he will disappear. He went to go to Lahore, disguised as a Muslim, and live with them. But one day, he was discovered and shot at. Then his colleague, who was a Muslim advocate, he recognized him and said, Mr. Puri, you are here at this time. He replied, Mr. Hassan, this is my Watan, this is my motherland, where else I can go? See, like that. Another story I tell you about Hindu-Muslim. This is also based on a true incident. The bus was going on the Mathura road to Agra. when robbers came, and robbers, you know what do? They robbed everything. But when they were departing, one of the robbers saw that a lady prophet was sitting in the bus. He got a golden wristwatch. He said, Sardar, there is a very beautiful wristwatch. I'll take it out. But when she began to take it out, there was resistance, and the time was running high. Somebody might come. Then said, take this lady with. Then this lady cried. When she cried, her also son cried. Then suddenly, from the corner, a young man stood up and said, he didn't say a word. He grappled with those robbers and saved that lady, though he himself was shot at and wounded. This lady took pity. She was very grateful. She took him to the hospital. Some other gentlemen also helped him, and all these things. Our lady's husband came, then that wounded gentleman's wife came. So it became such a human source of inspiration to all these things. But everybody was anxious to know why and how that young Muslim helped the Hindu women. Everybody used to say, एक मुसलमान ने हिंदू को बचाया, एक मुसलमान, even news carried the news that how a Muslim young man saved the honor of a Hindu lady. So when doctor allowed the gentleman to give a statement, he said only 3 or 4 sentences. When this thing happened, when these robbers were taking that lady out of the bus and she was crying, then suddenly in my mind there was light sparkling, and I remembered 2 years back, this very thing happened with my sister and she died there. Then I cried, my sister, this sister will die. And afterwards I don't know where the story ends. Nobody says anything. But it speaks volume. Because इंसान आज तो हालत ये है, खुदा तो मिलता है, आदमी नहीं मिलता. So there is it is the duty of a writer to discover that man. See, such things happened. So they made me a writer. One instance more I will like to partition. There was a Hindu lady. His family was killed. Her family was killed. She alone, she was, some Muslim gentleman took it, raped her and left it. Then another Muslim gentleman came, but he was not a real Muslim. He was a Hindu turned Muslim. He took her to his house and they lived for some time in peace. Then somebody discovered that this is a Hindu. He has stayed here for his land. So they killed her and took the woman away. Like that, she was from one place to one place. She was running like that. People couldn't do anything, poor lady. Ultimately, there was a pact between India and Pakistan, that all the women from this side will go to Pakistan, from Pakistan to come this side. So this lady was also arrested at that time when she came here. Actually, I saw that she was just like a stone. She has 5 children by 5 husbands. So the camp in charge, Mughala Sarabhai, asked me, please don't write anything about it. So I said, all right. I kept up that story for me for 14 years, but I could not resist. Then after 14 years, I wrote a long story, Ek Aur Kunti. Because you know all about the story of Kunti. She has 5 sons, 3 sons from 3 Devtas and 4 from Karna also. So like that. So that was the end of that story, leave it aside. But I have taken everything from life. Now this novel, this is my last novel, Ardhanarishwara. All the interviews and the characters, practically they are from the life, how they behave. Even I have quoted the real words, I have quoted the real letters. When a woman gets the first child, how she feels, that letter I have quoted. And you will be surprised. A very lady who is a leftist by nature, when the first child born to her, she wrote me a letter. You once told me, you quoted Nietzsche, woman is a riddle and child is solution. That is the true. Woman is a riddle and child is solution. But you told me another thing, that child is the enemy of the women. I said both things are correct. Taking the long story, cutting very short, so how I became a writer. We say in Hindi, दर्द की यातना से गुजरे बिना कोई लेखक नहीं हो सकता. You must suffer pains, then you can create, otherwise not.